Hi guys, what it is your girl Cadillac. I am coming in on November the 1st, 2021. And this year is just about gone. Like, for real. So I am coming in. I'm not in the middle of the screen. But guess what? We don't edit anymore right now because I ain't got time for that. Baby, it's time to stop wasting time. So, per my Sean Kennel courses, Well, first, I need to let you know who I am. I am Cadillac Dixon, the Draw My Life prison wife. And I am kind of starting over from scratch, basically. Per my Sean Cannell courses, if you know about Sean Cannell, he is a YouTube influencer and he teaches other YouTubers how to grow their channel, eventually get monetized, and actually make a business out of your YouTube channel. The business part is just icing on the cake. What I really wanted out of YouTube is to break my husband's story of being wrongfully convicted. Point blank, period. Whole point of why I'm on YouTube. So you can't do that if you're not getting seen. So you have to grow your channel. And it would be a bonus if I was able to actually, get some money out of all that time that I'm spending, which I can use that money for legal defense for my husband. That was the whole scheme that took place in my mind when I formulated and started this YouTube channel. But to not when I, well, kind of when I started it, because if you look back, I started in 2013 and I started rapping, and that whole basis was to get one song on the radio about my husband's wrongful conviction, to do the same thing, same intent, just a different way of doing it. I left, I went to college, I lived life, I did all types of things, and I returned back to the YouTube during the pandemic, the beginning of the pandemic. And I said I was going to try everything once again. This is my second try, so I don't know if it's going to be my last try. Actually, now this is my third try because it's like this. This is what is basically, so 2020 was a restart year, right? So I restarted and I basically went to my YouTube, and I put all my energy, power, everything I had, all my thoughts, I had just graduated college. So studying and doing projects and all of that, that was so like in tune to me. And when I finished college, which a lot of people don't know, when you do finish college, you kind of go through a depression, which you do in high school as well. You go through a depression because you don't know what else to do with yourself. And you were so in depth in this, and now, boom, it's over. So I graduated college, and also during the same time frame, I finished raising our daughter that me and my incarcerated husband had together. So I went through empty nest syndrome together along with just graduating college. So that sense of just not knowing what to do next and being alone prompted me into basically a loneliness that makes me just want my husband so much more. Plus, if you look around you, all the things that's going on, we don't know. I don't know how much longer, I'm going to be here. Don't know. And I would like to leave this world knowing that my husband is free, has his freedom that he was given by God and deprived of by man, that he's free, and because nobody else is going to fight for him. Once I'm gone off this earth, baby, the fight is over. Nobody else is fighting for him. Nobody else has fought for him. I would hope that his daughter would continue the legacy of fighting for her dad, but that will be up to her. So basically, I hit the ground running with YouTube. I started learning courses. I started trying to put in tips and all this notes. I have so many notebooks that I study. I study other YouTubers. I study with people that teach you and this and this and that. So this is what all of my 2020 went to, basically, YouTube. So all this, and it has not gotten me no closer to monetization. This much closer. That much. So this is what we doing today. Ripping it all up. So I basically kind of wasted 2020. This is my 2020. Trash. So what do you do when you write and you're planning out something and you write it down and all of that and it's just not working? You go back to the drawing board, right? So I'm back at the drawing board. So I'm trying to see, number one, should I let this channel go? Or do I need to pivot in some type of way? What can I do to save it? If I can, I don't know if I can save it. If not, I have to just let it be and whatever. That will be another dream that I let go, just as my music. I eventually had to let it go and, move forward past that. So I don't know if I'm thinking I'm going to start a new channel. That's still in the works. But if you notice on this channel here, I have done far less work. Thumbnails, I ain't even worrying about that. Not even filling in my description boxes. Not doing keywords because I have been doing those for over, I don't even know, for this whole year and something. And it hasn't gotten me no further. Like the optimization that I do on these videos, I get the same amount of views, like cricket views, when I don't optimize. So what the heck am I optimizing for? And plus, I do see a lot of YouTubers that don't do optimization at all. They don't search keywords. They don't do thumbnails. If they do, it's just a simple thumbnail. It's not going into Photoshop and doing this and doing. I am known to do way too much. And I'm tired of doing way too much. If I'm going to do that and not get much, then I might as well do not much and not get much. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to flip this channel. So we're going back to basics. So the basics of prison wife life. One thing that I did learn from my course was that my YouTube course was to go into your most popular videos and actually see which videos have done the best. See how you can do a part 2. So this is why we're here. This could revive the channel. It may be another shot in the dark. Most of my attempts are just shots in the dark that kind of fizzle out and die anyway. So we don't know what this is going to be. But I had a video I will link in the description box. It was called 10 Things That I Had to Give Up to Be with an Inmate. Okay, so I'm going to do a part 2, but we're not going to call it inmate because since I joined an organization and that is a bad word. No, do not call anybody incarcerated an inmate because that is the derogatory name and that is the name that they are called to make them feel less than. So we call them incarcerated citizens. So this part 2 is going to be 10 things. I found 10 more things on top, which it was hard to not mention those first 10 things, but I found 10 more things that I had to give up to be with the man that's incarcerated. That's how we're going to say it. And what I did was I took my list. I wrote out a list here. I don't know if you could see it. And I wrote down 10 things that I had to give up over the last 20 years of being with my husband while he was incarcerated. And what those things that I had to give up, I wrote them down first, just brainstorming. And then I went back and put them in numerical order. So I am the legally blind artist. So right now your girl can't see too well. So bear with me if I'm not reading like the brightest star in the sky. But anyways, I'm going to get straight into it now. Okay, so number 1, I have time. To be with a man that is incarcerated, I have given up so much of my own time. And the one thing that time is the one thing that you will never get back. You can regain money. If you lose a car, like a car gets totaled, anything happens, you can regain, like you can come back from almost anything, but your time is something you will never get back. Can't get your time back. I can't get none of that time back. When he went to prison, I was basically a baby. I was 19 years old. Y'all, I'm sorry. These glasses are really bothering me. So I don't know if my eye is like going to that way, that way. I can't see my eyes. So hopefully I'm not looking too crazy. I don't know. But I was 20, which is a baby. Oh my gosh. And this situation sent me into such a depression. That is not the time of your life that you should be in these deep, dark depression, dealing with these type of situations that you have no answers to. People that you go to for help don't have no answers to them. They're looking at you like you're just straight up Looney Tune. Like, girl, the only answer is to leave him. Leave the love of your life. Leave your soulmate. Leave the one that you feel that God made for you. Leave him and move on with your life. Those were my two. It's like being caught between a rock and a hard place. Finally, the man of my dreams or be in this hard, leave the man of my dreams, or be in this ridiculously overwhelming, hard situation year after year and fight and feel like you fighting in vain. I feel like I fought in vain. But those were my choices. Have you ever heard that love always wins? I'm going to fight for my love. Now, I didn't know that things were so difficult at 20. Because at 20, you feel like you know everything. You feel like anything is possible. And you tend to, even if it is a big, outlandish thing, you think that it can happen because you're 20. At 40, I'm like, girl, I wish I knew this would never happen. Like, for real. But time, I can't get back that time. I can't get back that youth. I can't get back that beauty that I had back then. I can't get back that body that I had back then. I can't get back that spending time with my family, my mother that's passed, that I could have been spending time with her rather than fighting this almost impossible battle. It's so many things I could have done with my time than laboring in vain and just waiting year after year, waiting like your life. This pause button on my stereo, like someone pushed the pause button on my life. And I have been on pause. And I have watched the world continue on with their lives. And I'm the only one, like, just sitting there on pause, waiting for justice. And justice never comes. Never comes. So I would say be very mindful when you get into one of these situations that you're giving up something that you can never gain back. When you're waiting on your husband who is incarcerated, under no circumstances can you regain that time. It's gone. It's gone. And possibly I can do other little videos to go a little deeper into each thought, but I'm just going to introduce them because I probably already rambled on way too much. Okay, so number 2, I have present life. I have given up my present day-to-day life. I'm trying to regain it now, but in the past, like from 20 to most of those years following 20, I have given up living in the present because all you can think of when you are a prison wife and your husband is incarcerated is that day that your husband comes home, that day that this nightmare ends, the day you finally got a regular life that you see everybody, you see your sisters with, you see your friends, you see your coworkers with, you see people on social media with, and you look at your life and you're like, why am I not anywhere near that? It really messes with your psyche. And then it starts making you feel like, well, if everybody else has it and I don't, like, what's wrong with me? Why don't I have that? Why can't I have my family together? That is so simple. I see millions of families around. Over these years, I have seen so many families. I used to work in a super center. I see families coming in shopping. I see families buying home goods. I see families buying cars together. I see people on social media. They're hugging, they're celebrating birthdays, they're celebrating anniversaries. And why can't I have that? Don't I deserve that? Why? So you're always longing for that future day that you can be normal, like normal people, and live a normal life. And that's what I mean by giving up your present day life. And I've learned over these 20 years that you can't give up your present day. Though you want him home, baby, you gotta find a way to live without him because he's not here. You gotta figure out how you can go on. How can you keep your health up? How can you keep your friendships, I guess? Keep in touch with people. How do you keep your family relationships going while he's gone? How do you maintain your household? How do you keep your bills up to date? How do you keep your house like clean and organized? Because depression comes also with disorganization. Like, when you're depressed, you're not doing the things that you should be doing. You're not keeping on top of the things that you should keep on top of. Well, maybe you can, but when depression hits me, things go to lacking because it feels like nothing really matters too much. And you just go into survival mode. So I've definitely given up my present day life, living in today, because you want to live in that future day when you feel like he's coming through them gates. But when I started this journey, I thought that day was coming for us. And the longer I'm on this road, the more it feels like that day is not. But we'll stop there. If you've ever contacted me on social media, you know how I put that dot, dot, dot. We'll leave it right there. Dot, dot, dot. Because I don't want to go further with that. But you give up your present day life. Number 3, career. I don't know if it's for everybody, but for me, myself, I have given up basically my career path of where I could have, would have, should have been had this situation not occurred. I don't think I would have, with this not happening, I know I wouldn't have pursued a rapping career because that all stemmed from trying to get the song on the radio about my husband. I may not have pursued an art career either because I only turned to my art when I was trying to spark something. It possibly I may have pursued art, but it wouldn't have been this art justice thing that I'm doing because I wouldn't have been involved in that. So I feel like I may have went other directions had this not happened. Number one, he would have been in our life and actually helping me raise our daughter physically. He did the best he could from behind bars, but as you know, there's a lot of things that are going to go lacking when the husband is out of the household and not there to help you with everyday tasks. You get overwhelmed. You get to the point where you feel like you can't handle all this. And then it starts making you think, why do I have to handle all this alone? I know it takes two. I know that some of this is on me, but I didn't sign up to be a single parent. I did not sign up to be a single parent, but I am a single parent. And I am struggling daily, like every day. I can't make ends meet no matter how I try. I worked 2 and 3 jobs at a time. I went to school several times, and you get out of school and you think the sky's the limit, and then it's time to build that business after you get out of school. And as you know, building a business is not as easy. Just many people, even the top people in business will tell you usually your first business doesn't succeed. Your second business, for me, maybe we own 3 or 4 that didn't succeed. So it's like those paths, like had I had them in the household, I probably would have been able to focus more on my career than just trying to get my husband home. Like, you can't split your concentration, not too well. So your focus is going to be on, like, most time, one thing. And because I've been focused so hard into getting my husband home and putting my family back together, those other things have went by the wayside. My career and things like that. And what I personally for myself wanted to be in life and what I wanted for my family, I had to let those go because I am in a relationship with an incarcerated man. Now, I'm not telling you that you have to. I'm just saying these are things that have happened. Of course, I want to regain that, and I want to get back to, I just graduated from graphic design school, and I'm thinking like, dang, I used the last year to build a YouTube to try to gain attention about my husband when, duh, I should have been building my graphic design business. That's an example of what I'm trying to say. Okay, so we on, okay, just a moment. We know we're not editing, so these things happen. My light times out. Okay, so number 4, things you really enjoy doing. I have had to give those up because I am in a relationship with not even just a relationship, husband and wife, with a incarcerated man. So the things that I love to do, I've kind of given up because I don't, it doesn't leave a lot of time. Like, you have to work, you have to take care of yourself. If you have kids, I had kids. Well, I had kid, but I raised other people's kids as well. So I did have kids, but a lot of time goes to that. And then the things that you wanted to do in your free time, like such as what did I used to love to do? Like, I love music. I'm always been a homebody. I love movies. I love to watch movies. I love to just create. I used to love to sew. I used to get furniture and just like strip off the old paint and varnish it and do things like that. Anything hands on. I would love to just be creative in any way that I can. I used to love to do hair, find all these weird, crazy, spectacular hairdos. I would do my hair every other day. I used to love makeup. I used to love fashion, like going shopping. Like, I loved going shopping. I haven't shopped in years, like years. Half of it behind the depression, because you feel like, almost like that Beyonce song, if your man's not here, then what's the point of buying a new dress? It was a song that she said like that she had with Missy Elliott. And it's true. It's like the man that you love, like, I know, girl, you got to look good for yourself. We know that. But I think I look cute right now. You may disagree, but who cares? But I feel like I look good enough. But if my man was here, no, girl, no. We tackling this hair. We getting this hair together. This hair gonna be laid, girl. Lip gloss on my lips. Finger, like, at least manicured. Like, cuticles wouldn't be peeling up like this had my man been looking. Feet. Oh, we ain't gonna get on the feet, girl. Ben needed a pedicure for, like, I don't even know how long. But when you got your man, okay, let me tell you, granny panties. Things like that would not be going on if my man was here. when did I wear granny panties when he was around? Like, you don't know, girl, but I'm gonna tell you, I didn't. He been gone, you go get those fruity balloons, the little big pack that comes with like 8 pair. Like, we on budgets and stuff like that. So it's like you sacrifice the cuteness for the little dollars. So that's what I mean. Like, giving up those things that you really enjoyed, but you know, you have to pick which one is more important. You're on the go, you're trying to file things for him, you're trying to order things for him, you're trying to be on social media for him to figure out stuff, you're trying to reach out to lawyers, you're trying to do too much to where you can't do the things that you really should be doing for yourself. So you get lost in the process, and I have gotten lost. Parts of me have gotten lost in the process of being in a relationship with an incarcerated man for 20 years, girl. Not 2 years, 20. Put the 0 behind it. So we are on number 5, your cover. Okay, so what I mean by giving up your cover is, like, I mean, everybody doesn't do this, but for me, like, a lot of times when you are a prison wife, you hide it. You don't want the world to know. You don't want to tell people when the conversations, like, these are very, like, they come up a lot. Like, even with coworkers, they ask you, "Oh, so what about your kids?" And every time they're like, "Oh, you only have one?" Like that question. But we'll get back to that. We'll get back to that. Or they'll be like, "Oh, are you married? Are you Oh, you're not married, so you're single." And then that gets to where you're like, like, you don't know. You don't know how to explain it. And then when you do explain it, you already know what's going through their heads, which they don't completely, they don't completely understand, but they're going to think the same stigmas that people think, the same stereotypes that people think about a man in prison and you being with the man in prison. So it's like those conversations come up. So if you choose to tell, you're somewhat letting go your cover. You're dropping your cover and they can see you. It's almost like they're seeing you bare naked and you're like, oh, like, please don't judge me. Please don't judge me. Like, I wish you can see it from my eyes, but it's very hard for other people to see through our eyes of prison wives. It's very hard. So because they can't understand it, they're going to judge it. That's just how it is. And for me, I've always been a loner, so I really don't care if people think I'm crazy. Girl, I think I'm crazy sometimes. I think I'm crazy sometimes, but I know this man is for me. This man is innocent. So I mean, I don't know. It's like he didn't even do the crime, but he's still going to be labeled an incarcerated citizen, or what they call them, inmate. So he's going to be labeled something bad, but he didn't even do the crime, but too bad he has that label on his back. So it's like, and for me, and I'm not telling you that you have to let that cover down, because it does come with letting down your cover. Is going to come with judgment. It also comes from your family. Your family's going to judge you. They're going to think you're crazy. They're going to talk behind your back. They're going to say, "Oh, like why can't she just move on? I guess she can't find another man. She must have low self-esteem. She doesn't think she's pretty enough. He's using her." That's what they're going to think. And they're going to talk behind your back. Just like that. They are. I know that, girl. I know that. But the reason I do it, and you don't have to do it. You don't have to let people in if you don't want to. And you can be choosy about who you let in, or like, you can get to know people for a long time before you let them know. Because judgment is coming. That's how people are. They don't quite put themselves in your shoes and be like, oh, like, I can't believe, like, how can you even deal with this? Like, you're only 20, you're only 30, like, you're a young girl yourself with the young baby, and you're going through all that. They don't sympathize with you like that. They just look at you crazily. So the reason I do it, and I'm not a social person, so one would ask themselves, why am I all over social media? Do you have an answer for me? I'm gonna wait. Why would I be on social media? Not to keep up with nobody, not to look at what nobody's doing, not to show you what I'm doing. I don't care if you know what I'm doing. Girl, we ain't talked in years upon years upon years. Baby, I don't even know you. Why would I be on social media? Because I want the story of my husband out. I am trying to tell a story, and the ways of the world have changed. No longer are things like through physical ways they used to be, like the news or the newspaper. Those things, of course, do still exist. And it's even like with music, it changed. It went from CDs, passing out CDs and stuff like that, to everything is social media, and including breaking your loved one's story is on social media. How else do you break a story of a wrongful conviction? If you have any suggestions besides social media, which it is very impossible almost, but it's hard. I do see people do it every day, which makes me think I can do it, but it's very hard. It is very hard because social media is basically like, it's not a conversation where I'm talking to you and you're talking to me. It's basically I'm talking, you're talking, they're talking, they're like, it's all these conversations going out, but nobody's really responding back. So it's like a bunch of monologues, monologue, monologue, monologue. I don't interact with you. You don't interact with me. You're talking about this. I'm talking about that. And it's just clutter. It's clutter. Like, basically, it's clutter. It's too much red tape to get through. You can't always say what you want to say. So how do you break this story? But that's basically the only way that I see to get that story out. I was even told by the ACLU, the head of the ACLU, maybe 5 to 6 years, I don't know, I've lost count of all types of time, that the only hope for Marcello was to break his story, and get it big. That was it. There's not much of hope for him. And from that day, that's what I've been trying to do. And you see, I haven't even cracked the surface. I haven't even, if it was like a glacier and you're just chipping at ice, the ice ain't even broke. The nothing, like little movements, which I can see, but